Hi, it's James. I'm back again, and I'm going to be conducting a review today, a quick one, on two separate items. Here we've got the iMacy TC box. It's a 40-watt box mod that does temperature control and voltage regulated vaping. And the Vpark Maxtank Mini. This is their sub-ohm tank. It comes with a variety of coils that are available. What it comes with is a couple of 0.5 ohm Canthal coils. I'll get into all that when I bring it close up. This review isn't going to take too long. There's nothing particularly unique about these devices, but they both do a pretty good job of what they do. So let's start with the iMacy. Before I get started on the review, I did win both of these devices from Bob, the Vaping Computer Guy. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel below. So I got these free of charge. These have absolutely zero value to me, so my review is going to be honest, accurate, and I will give you my real opinion on this as if I did pay for these with my own money. Both devices are available on Gearbest. Again, I'll put the link below so you can see where it is. That's the only place I can find it. This is a 40-watt device, so it looks a bit like an iStick. Got the fire button, up and down buttons. At the base you've got your micro USB connection, slightly different shape than an iStick though. You have a non-spring loaded 510 connector. It is fixed, and you've got some stuff going on the side, and it labels itself the iMacy TC box. You got a little bit of stuff down here, all your standard symbols. Got the name of the device up here again, and then I'm not sure what all this is about. It absolutely does nothing. It doesn't interact with the screen at all in any way. I think they just put it there to look cool. Whatever. Pretty standard fare. 5-click on and off, and it locks it. Right now it's locked. 5-click off, or on rather. And now it's going to give me an atomizer short or something to that effect. No, there we go. Normal mode. Atomizer open. There we go. I got most of a battery charge on this. Sorry if the lighting keeps adjusting. I've got a pretty cheap webcam on my computer, so just kind of bear with me on that, and I'll maybe back it up a little bit here. With it in the open mode, you can adjust. Right now I've got it in wattage. Up and down. And it does kind of round robin. So if you go down to 1 watt, it'll drop down to 40, and likewise if you go back up to 40 watts, it'll stop and it round robins. Now it is a temperature controlled device. So far as I can tell, it's a nickel only device. I could not find a website, a manufacturer's website, anything to that effect anywhere online. The only link that I found anywhere was at gearbest.com. 5 clicks locks the device, and from the lock mode, if you press and hold up and down at the same time, it'll say hold to change temperature, and then it goes to a temperature. And you could change your temperature in small increments, and if you go all the way up to 600 degrees, hit it again, it goes to off. Then you press the fire button, 5 clicks on, and you're back in wattage mode. From there, let's say I want to vape in temperature mode at 580 degrees at 35 watts. So from this mode, let's drop this down to, and let's just do 36 watts, make it easy. So I'm at 36 watts. 5 clicks off, press and hold to change temp. It's in off mode, which means it's non-temperature controlled. And here we go, 580 degrees, and if you look, 35 watts. 36 watts rather. Press the button, there you go. 5 clicks on, and you get 36 watts, 580 degrees. Now, I'm not using a nickel temperature controlled coil with this, so I'm going to change that back. Real quick before I start doing this review. go. That's in off mode. And I accidentally locked it. If you press and hold while it's on, it locks and unlocks the arrow keys so that you can't actually change the temperature or voltage. The box is pretty standard fare. Nothing really particularly special about it. Like I said, I couldn't find anywhere on their website or anything to that effect. Top of it pops off. You got one of these little dealies in here, and it's in there pretty good. So you got the finagle with it just a little bit. And the only stuff that comes with it is a USB charging cable and a manual. And again, the manual didn't have anything in it that indicated a website or anything to that effect. Decent information in it though, not a very complicated device. Decent packaging. So, on to the tank. This is the Vpark Maxtank Mini. Pretty standard fare. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's got a massive coil for this. It's an 18mm device. It is top filled. It's got the standard airflow control at the bottom. It goes all the way around. Also comes with the airflow control drip tip. I'm not using that, just I think they're flavor killers. Nice thing about this tank though is that it is top filled. Not sure exactly. My tank's pretty full, but you know, you just get the juice in there and you're good to go. Dripper bottle, snub top bottle, one of these guys, they all work fine. Couple things I'll say up front about it is this thing chucks some vapor and it'll drink some juice really quick, so it's a good thing that it's top filled. Not a whole lot else to say about it. Change the coils. You go to the bottom here, remove this base, and the coil just slides in and out. That's it. That easy. It's a big boy. The base of the device has a floating 510 pin. It's just in there. It's not screwed in or anything. I'm not going to take it out because it is a bit of a pain to get back in. It's really tiny. Change your coil out. Pop that on there. Open it up. Standard 510 drip tip. Dual O-rings. That's nice. And pretty much everything's plastic. So take it or leave it with that. And I'll go ahead and show you the box. Nothing really special about it. Gives you the package contents. Got one of these little foam dealies in there. There's your spare coil. Also 0.5 ohm Canthal. There's your spare drip tip with the flavor killing option. And that's where the device was. Little manual, decent pictures on it. Not bad information, not a ton of it though. But again, it's a sub-ohm tank. Not a whole lot to it. So, here's how these two devices look together, and I'm going to review them together because I got them together. And they actually perform pretty well together. So right now I've got it in 40 watts, non-temperature control, because this is a Canthal coil. And let's see what this thing can do. Oh, it's asking me for a new coil. There we go. $40 watts. Not bad at all. Another thing I will say about these coils, I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and I use a naturally extracted tobacco juice. Stuff's pretty thick. It's fairly dark, and it's got the natural sugars from tobaccos. It's a coil killer, and this thing's going on 2 weeks with it, and it's still chucking vapor. It still works great. So these coils look like they have a lot of life in them, and they drink about, I'd say, twice as much juice as the average sub tank or Atlantis coil. So with that being said, they'll last twice as long. You can put 4 times as much juice through one of these as you can through one of the other coils. Flavor, it's not as good as, say, the Yule Crown, but I'd definitely say it's right on par with the Sub-Tank, Atlantis, any type of device like that. It's a standard fare sub-ohm tank. Got those big, gigantor juice channels. There's 4 of them all around. And the coils in this are compatible with the Maxtank Pro, which is their 22mm device. So let's take a look at it again. I mean, this was airflow not quite all the way open, and I really didn't rip on this thing. Wow. This thing definitely chucks vapor. And no dry hits, not at all. I mean, this stuff is pretty thick. And I haven't had a single dry hit. This thing will handle 100% VG, no problem. Conversely, though, because these things wick so well, it really doesn't handle a thinner juice, anything like 50/50 or thinner, quite well. You're going to get a lot of spit back. So use a heavier juice with this and you should be in good shape. One more time, and I'll get to my next point. Wow, and that is a ton of vapor, and it's flavorful and dense and thick. You can see it. Here's the thing. I just filled up the tank right before this review, and it is visibly lower than it was. If I take another 2 or 3 good rips off of it, it's going to be half empty. So your juice budget is definitely going to be affected by this little guy. So that's something to keep in mind. All in all, though, I gotta say, I mean, the device itself is pretty ergonomic. It fits in the hand just like an iStick, maybe a little bit better. It's actually more teardrop shaped. The coil does pretty well in this tank, and you're getting a lot of vapor out of it. Overall, I can say it's pretty well recommended. I'll leave the links below and let you take a look at it and decide for yourself. Thanks for watching.